Mr. Price is right here with a coolant leak on this n52. This is an X3. I just had to change the front differential. I noticed that it looked damp or wet under where the water pump was. So, and I looked underneath, got it up, had a look, and I could see water, or I could see coolant dripping from the frame right under. I could actually see it dripping from the bolts that held the thermostat to the water pump. So I was just about ready to, and that area is, let's see, well, we can see the water pump. I see the water pump there. That is dripping from, well, you can see the, I don't know if you can see the bolts underneath that, but yeah. But it was basically, this area is wet, still is. It was dripping. So I was just getting ready to say, oh, well, must be it's dripping from the water pump, must be the water pump. So I was just getting ready to pull all that stuff out, which is a real, not a fun prospect. So anyhow, I thought, well, since I'd bought the pressure test cap, I'll do a pressure test to see if I can spot this. I was losing a very small amount of coolant. I think hope you can actually hear that dripping on the pan at the bottom. I don't know if we can see it. It's actually coming out of there it is. So it's coming out of the water pump to oil cooler coolant line, and presumably it's the O-ring to that. Now I've replaced that with the aluminum type, but apparently the O-ring has failed. So, but I've got to say, it is a heck of a lot. Let the pressure off now. Only pumped it up to about 5 psi, but a lot easier to pull that and replace the O-ring on that than it is to pull out the water pump thermostat and all the pipes and the full drain and everything else that has to go along with it. I have taken out the fan and shroud here so you can see what the heck is going on, but we'll replace that and see if that fixes our problem. So you will probably notice that I've replaced the end of the hose with this fitting. The plastic piece in the original hose had failed a long time ago and replaced with this, but now the O-ring on here had failed. So taking this off, replaced the O-ring, put it all back, repeated our pressure test, no more leaks. I should say, and refilled the coolant and run the bleed procedure. So coolant's back to full. Pressure test, no leaks from the oil cooler housing. And what was happening, of course, was that because this engine is mounted at a tilt, the coolant was leaking from that housing, running down the side of the block and dripping down the corner, which is right where the water pump is. So it made it look like the water pump was the thing that was leaking. But thank goodness I could only actually see this realistically when pressure was applied to the system. So that is extremely useful. Previously, it's not unusual to have a cracked expansion tank that shows up when you apply pressure to the system and you see the leak. So there we have it.